Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel.
Why are you laughing already?
I feel embarrassed. Today we're here with Caroline. We're gonna make onigiri. We need tuna.
Can opener.
We have mayo.
And then we also have a furikake for the rice. And then to make the sushi rice, we have rice that's cooking in a container right now, and then as well as rice vinegar. We'll add salt to the sushi rice.
Eggs. And then we're gonna do the other filling, which is
The tuna one.
yeah, just tuna.
Yeah, so we have two fillings. Tuna, egg salad.
Yes. Okay, so while we prepare that, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. I'm Caroline. I'm also a senior at Wharton, studying finance. I'm also doing a master's in data science. I'm still job hunting, so that's been taking over my life. But for fun, I feel like I'm just trying to dedicate more time to spend with friends. I've been eating out a lot, both near and off campus. And then I also have a bunch of my own hobbies that I like to invest in, even if it's like only 10 to 15 minutes a day. So hobbies right now have included crocheting and reading.
How are you feeling about graduation?
Feeling low-key a little distant to me. So like I mentioned, I'm also taking a master's, right? So my graduation's kind of staggered, and I am still graduating with my bachelor's at the same time as everyone else. We're both class of 2026, so I'll be walking with everyone else, but then I'll be staying an extra semester. So in the fall, I'll be finishing up the last semester for my master's. So it feels like it's coming to an end, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm still staying an extra semester, so it doesn't actually mean that much to me personally. I feel like it'll hit me during the fall because none of my friends will be here. So don't be like me. You should make friends with your underclassmen too, but I don't have underclassmen friends. So I'll face it when it comes time to face it. I think it's also because, for example, most of my friends will be in New York City, like Tiana will be in New York City. So I fear I will be abusing the public transit system and going to New York like maybe every other weekend. That's one way I'm planning on dealing with the loneliness. I think another thing is just job hunting. And I still have a full course load for my master's. I'm still taking, I think, at this rate, like,
The water is boiled.
yay! I think I'm still gonna be taking like 4 classes next semester. So
All master's classes too.
all
so,
master's classes.
yeah. It's early 2026. Also, Chinese New Year just passed. So you get a new restart to the year, actually.
新年快乐.
新年快乐. What do you want more of in your life this year?
The physical thing is I literally just want to take care of my physical health more. And then my abstract thing is being more patient. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. Like, for example, like working out does require patience because you typically don't see immediate results overnight. I feel like I struggle a lot with persisting through things, not even because of failure. It's just if it takes too long to pick up the momentum, I get bored very easily and then I just drop it. But this year it's about being patient, about trusting the process and following through.
What do you think people's perception of you is? And do you think that aligns with who you are? AKA, do you think you're living or you're portraying yourself authentically enough that people see the real you? Or is that something you intentionally try not to do? Or
the first thing is, when I've heard this like unanimously, not just at Penn, but like just throughout my life, where when people first look at me, they're like, oh, this woman is like intimidating. I give it scary dog vibes, even though I am literally only not even 5'4". So there's that. I think I just have a naturally like RBF or like just like poker face. But in reality, I'm someone who has a lot of emotions. I'm actually really sensitive. I think I tend to think a lot too, and it shows on my face. Like sometimes, like when people who really know me, they're like, "Oh, like you have subtitles. Like your expressions are subtitles."
Oh my god, yes, 100%.
So I don't think those two things align. But it's not like I intentionally try to portray myself.
Steam.
Oh my god. Like I don't intentionally try to come off as intimidating. I low-key think that's just like the way I look. But yeah, I don't think I try hard to be any particular way. I used to be a really big try hard though. I wanted to come off as like very accomplished and stuff like that, especially freshman year when like you want to network with upperclassmen to get into clubs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But like now, I think that's the vibe I try to give only to upperclassmen.
Okay, I see. Tell me now about your journey to Penn. So, what did success mean to you when you first stepped on campus? And it seems like you kind of had an idea of like what you wanted to be.
Yes. Okay. So there's a little bit of context that needs to be provided. So don't trust your 17-year-old self, because most people don't actually know what they want when they're 17. I thought at age like 17, 18 that I wanted to become an investment banker. Literally, no, that's not true. That's not true. I'm actually I'm taking on a master's so that I could completely pivot away from finance. So that's also why I chose to ED to Wharton. I got really lucky that I got in. And so I thought my life was really set, and success to me at that point was like, okay, I already got into an Ivy League, so then how do I get like a really prestigious job? So my whole life, and I think this is obviously a lot of like East Asian, Chinese specific culture being imbued within me, but there's like a title and prestige is like what's really crucial to what my definition of success meant at that time. And so in my first year of college, I kind of alluded to this earlier, I was trying to be a tryhard so that I could get into all of these clubs or all of these like programs and opportunities on campus that would help set me up to get into like a Goldman Sachs or like a JP Morgan. So that was kind of what it looked like in my head. Also, there was like academic success too to it, but I felt like for me personally, and I feel like this is how a lot of Penn students perceive Penn just because of how pre-professional it is. We think of this environment more as like a place to help set us up for jobs. So I think academic success to me was like, okay, as long as I didn't like freaking get like B's, I was good. Or like even a B+.
It was a means to an end.
Yeah, it was just a means to an end.
Okay, I'm going to mash up the eggs. That's what I'm supposed to do, right?
Yes, you mash up the eggs.
Okay.
Fine setting, let me see.
Ooh, clearly it feels like you were very much shaped by your experience at Penn. At what point were you aware of the fact that your thoughts were changing?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say I started having inklings of it the end of my freshman year. I realized that, especially in a lot of my commitments, I hated spending time. Like, I would not go out of my way to work on club stuff or like even go to like social events just to socialize and get to know these people more. I just simply wasn't interested. So I think those 2 points maybe kind of really doubt the trajectory I was on. And so I think that's kind of what made me transition.
I also think that you had the opposite experience as a lot of Wharton students, because what you'll typically hear is people will be like, oh, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and then I came to Penn, and then I got corralled into investment banking.
Yeah.
But you went the other way, where like you came in being like, this is what Penn is known for, this is what I'm gonna do, and then you just found out that you didn't like it.
Yeah, I think I am someone who has a really low tolerance for BS, to be honest. So when I realized I was like lying to myself, I can't even handle that. So I'm like, okay, well, if we're uncomfortable in our own skin, let's do something about it for once.
I think it's really impressive that that you live so true to yourself, because I know a lot of people who are going into banking and who I think hate banking just as much as you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, there's always a way to like rationalize every decision, and it's like you're gonna end up fine regardless, right? So
trust.
Okay, so continuing on, did you lean into more of your strengths, or do you think that you really gave yourself the space to explore what you were just interested or curious about?
I definitely leaned into giving myself the space to explore. Given that I was already off the track, I was like, okay, so what are you interested in? I do feel like personally though, if I had to assess my strengths though,
what do you think your strengths were at the time?
At the time?
Yeah.
Oh God. I think at the time I was, and I think I still am, I'm really good at like research kind of work. So like asking questions, diving deeper. I'm also decently good at writing, I fear. So unlike a lot of people.
Did you say I fear?
I fear. So like unlike I think a lot of people that I've met at Penn, I actually really do enjoy like writing up reports and like essays and stuff like that. It's not a drag. I would not even use ChatGPT for it because to me it's such a sacred process. So yeah, those are like those kind of skills. But I feel like those are useful in all fields. Like you need to know how to write and communicate. So yeah, I mean they're not like exactly like unique skills to have. Like I'm not like a whiz at math.
I feel like those are more important, arguably, and I feel like one skill that I feel like you have is you're able to distill more complicated topics into easier sort of understanding. Really? And I think that's a really good skill. Yeah.
I just curse a lot and it makes sense.
No, but like for example, right? Like if you're trying to explain like a CS topic to me, I think you're really good at just getting to the point, to the intuition. Whereas there are a lot of people, especially a lot of professors, who I think have lost this skill over the years. It's the fallacy of like the deeper you get into the field, or just any type of learning, right? Like if you're learning an instrument or like a language, the more expertise you have in it, the more you've forgotten what it feels like to be a beginner.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, because also it's very true that sometimes your own skills aren't visible to you. Like I wouldn't have known that unless I like asked Tiana or someone else that like, am I good at explaining things? Does this make sense to you, or am I just like speaking gibberish? So there's that. Wait, is the rice ready?
I think so.
So like, whoa! That's so cool. What the frick? Oh my god! I'm shell shocked. Wait, can you bring this over here? I need to. If it's not too hot, they need to see this. I've never. Okay, so this is not your typical rice cooker. This is not your typical rice cooker.
It's so funny you're reacting like this. Basically, how this happened was like you plug it in and then you open it, and she went, "Oh."
Sorry.
Yeah.
I have a regular rice cooker, so I've never seen this sort of contraption in my life. I was gonna just say that like, because my strengths can be used in various cases because it's not limited by like a specific domain or stuff. Yeah, I was just like, okay.
You were just like, which would I be happiest doing?
Yeah, like what are applications? Right now it's more about finding my own industry.
Wait, I also think this general mindset is more unique at Penn than you think.
What? Like finding industry interest?
Like being more explore or being willing to explore.
Oh.
Okay, next question. So now we can get into your gap year.
Yes.
So when did you decide to take it? And then how do you think that time changed you?
Okay, I had to take a gap basically because of several social reasons, which I won't get into, but also because my health at that point had plummeted. But I also had other family things come up that required me to stay at home for an extended period of time. So it was a really tumultuous period, and I realized that there was no way I could be a good daughter or like just sister or family member to my people, and also be able to maintain myself and then also preserve my academic standing. And so after extended discussion with like advisors at Penn, at Wharton, it was just best to have me leave and take a gap. And so during that gap, I really didn't do a lot of work, frankly speaking. A lot of time just spent on recuperating, especially since my health was very dire. And as a result, that meant I had a lot more time to simply think. And that, I feel like that period, as hard as it was on me, like I felt like I was behind. I felt like, oh, I'm missing out on so many like crucial social moments, or just like the ability to even make new friends, for instance. I felt like because I had that time, I was able to think a lot more about who I was. So this was a very important period of self-identity formation for me. So that's, for example, when I picked up a lot of the hobbies. Like I'm super into anime and manga. That was like the time where I got super obsessed with it. And then it also got me thinking about like what kinds of careers too kind of match my own interests. And while this doesn't sound like a cop-out answer, like I am really much more interested in tech, and I know the tech industry is like something like another industry kind of people kind of just feed into. I do think it's just because like there are just so many like apps and products out there that I've fallen in love with that have brought me a lot of joy. So yeah, there were just a lot of things there, and I worked on a lot of like personal projects that never got finished, but it was like good to just get started at that point. And so by the time I came back, that's when I was like, okay, wait, I love working with like data, for instance. That was something I kind of realized as I was making like some web apps on my own. And so I looked into data science programs at Penn, and then our sub-matriculation program, which is like our accelerated masters. I think sometimes it's good to take a gap, even if you're behind, even if you graduate later. it really does not make that big of a difference, to be honest. And also, I think it's way more important to know who you are, or at least make sure you're in touch with it.
How do you tell the difference between growth and self-betrayal? Like, AKA, when you grow out of something, how do you know that you intrinsically, like you yourself, wholeheartedly growing out of it versus like trying to become something else or going back on something that you previously thought was really true?
When you feel like you're growing, you probably know the reason why you're growing. Like you're crying because it's super tough, or the process is super tedious and arduous, right? Or you're like not getting the result. Oh, that's so gorgeous. What the fuck?
Thanks.
So that's my take on it. I think if you're crying a lot, think about why you're crying. If the reason is something pretty clear, think about whether or not that's like it's worth it, and then you can classify it probably based on growth or self-betrayal yourself, because that's different for everyone. But if it's very vague, more often than not, it's because it simply does not align with you, and that's probably self-betrayal.
I think also it's about like duration, TBH, because when you feel like you're actually passionate about something, chances are you'll rediscover that joy, right? But if you're very consistently just down in general, I think that's a sign that there's, because even if something is hard, there should be an ease in the way that you engage with it because you're passionate about it, right?
I agree.
So what are you still confused about when it comes to yourself? Or do you feel just very self-assured?
I think it's so important now more than ever to make sure you have like a community of people in your life. You need to have a village, and you need to be a villager, if that makes sense. But I feel like it's been kind of hard, low-key. Like I think Gen Z specifically struggles with this too. And so sometimes I'm like, wait, so like what kind of friends am I actually looking for? What kind of village do I even want to be a part of? Like these are big questions in my life. And low-key, I do not really feel like a rush to find an answer though, just because life is shifting so quickly, right? Like people are going to be coming and going. So while that's a question I will continue to think about, I'm also not in a rush to come up with an answer right now.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I'm gonna eat it. First bite of a destroyed imagery. Wait, not bad.
I kind of give up on this one too. It's gonna fall apart. Okay. Now it's musubi.
Well, I love spam musubi. God,
I've never really had spam before.
I can't. What's
good?
Wait, sorry.
Yeah,
really had
I don't know what it tastes like.
And you buy from Costco?
We were never a spam family. I just didn't know it existed until like college. It's so good.
Sheltered woman here.
So good. Are there identities or parts of yourself that you're actively letting go of? Or are there parts of yourself that you want to let go of? Like after college?
Right now, trying to not be as negative. I have always been like a worst case kind of thinker. And as a result, I think that has caused me to never anticipate for what the best case could be. And when the best case does happen, or just in any scenario where there's a good outcome to it, I don't think I could really like accept that happiness. Someone can do something really nice for me that no one has ever done for me in my life, but because I'm sometimes so deeply ingrained and entrenched in this idea of like, oh, I don't deserve good things, but like people will never treat me well, and I won't actually feel like the full satisfaction or even gratitude when like people do nice things for me. So I think that's both pretty self-damning and also damning for other people. And I no longer want to carry that negativity around with me. Most of the time too in life, like things are never as bad or as good as they seem to me. So I feel like I'm not trying to replace this with like toxic positivity, but rather just like a more openness, like a neutral openness. Like if things happen, just be like water, just like navigate and adapt, right? But I don't want to always be like a sentinel preparing for war.
What feels like the cost of the life that you're building for yourself?
Low-key whimsy.
Oh, why?
Because I like to have more whimsy in my life, but I have to fucking find a job first. And I think as a result, I feel like I'm like trying to run a marathon that I've never really trained for. So it is quite debilitating. Like I got sick for the first time in a really long time recently. I just personally think that right now in terms of my priorities, it's just way more of a higher priority for me to be spending more time with my like friends on campus while they're still here, plus like my other friends on other college campuses. And because of that, I'm not actually spending a lot of time that I usually would with my family. Like I've reduced the number of times I've called back home. I don't think I really have a conception of regret anymore either. Because I think a lot of the choices, because it's made by myself, like I feel like I just have to take on the full responsibility of like these are the consequences of my actions, right? So.
Okay, what are you most proud of learning here that isn't on your resume?
I've never had to leave the places of comfort my whole teenage and childhood years. So coming to Penn, actually this is another very important criteria for me when I was applying to college was
far from home.
I needed to be far from home because I knew in my head that, oh, I'm like kind of really dependent on my parents. And that's like low-key not good for adulthood. I just feel more well-rounded in life. Like I feel like I have life skills now, which I know Penn didn't teach me, but by proxy of going to Penn and being away from home and being away from what has always provided me comfort throughout my life, I have been forced to grow up. And I think I grew up at the right pace. I think what Penn has especially taught me is like being very nurturing in relationships. Like knowing how and when to give people the space to open up to you, and then how you can close the gap when people eventually do begin to trust you more. I don't think it's like a common occurrence, but I feel like the relationships where that has occurred and that has happened like has blossomed into very beautiful things that I cherish very deeply.
If you could send one message to your freshman year self, what would it be?
It does get worse, but it's okay. But you'll live through it. And ultimately, that's all that matters. Because you win as long as you survive, and you should be proud enough. Because the things that you'll go through are going to be really tough.
What do you hope that future you doesn't forget about who you are now?
Oh, future me? I hope she doesn't become jaded. I think it's okay to be tender-hearted. I think it's okay to be soft. And I think it's okay to panic sometimes. Like I feel like even now sometimes I'm like, oh, like an ideal version of myself would be like you know, like Pilates princess, like goes to Pilates at 6 a.m, drinks like 2 gallons of water every day, is like the star of her office. And I'm like, that's low-key though. If I really deeply think about it, that's not me. That's not who I want to be even. I just kind of want to be like whimsical, a little childish, a little mischievous, and also diligent and hardworking the way that I am now.
Last question. Was Penn worth it?
Yes and no. I think ultimately you can't go back in time and change things, and again, I think I'm grateful for like the way I've developed our college on my own. Obviously met a lot of really lovely people, and I think I would have not navigated my life the way that I did had I been to another school. The way I say no is because the fact that I'm not going on a typical career path does make Penn a little less meaningful to me, and that I don't really think I've received a lot of support or like even sufficient support in like exploring new career opportunities and learning classes that I really enjoyed. Like,
if anything, it's almost like an extra obstacle.
Yes, it has been an extra obstacle.
Yeah.
I will I think you mentioned this and explained this really briefly in your other podcast episode, but I'll just explain this again. We go to a college system, which means that once you get into the university, you're also sorted into your specific college and major directly. It's kind of different from other universities where you still have a choice to choose which college. You don't. You're locked into that college.
You can change your major within your college. Like, for example, in Wharton, you can be like management instead of finance.
Yeah.
But you can't be like math.
Which is in our engineering school and not under Wharton. So there's that. I fear I just did not find a lot of interesting classes at Wharton. I wish it wasn't so hard to register for other courses outside of just them being electives. But we do have like constraints on the number of electives you can take, especially if you want to graduate in time. So there's that, and I just feel like I know the alumni network is also one of the most valuable resources at Penn, but literally everyone that I've talked to is like, oh, why don't you just go the typical route? Like, you can always just do this in 2 to 3 years. And that's for sure something I do not need to hear, because I've already made that decision for myself that I don't want that for myself. But then when that's all you're hearing as advice, you're not really getting anywhere then with the alumni network. It's not as resourceful and valuable as it seems. But yeah, so that's a yes and no. And I think honestly, that would be anyone's college experience. You will have things you love about your college experience. There will be experiences you will freaking regret and hate, and that's okay. That's okay.
Okay, cool. Well, those were all the questions I had for you today. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
And thank you for your vulnerability and for teaching me how to make onigiri.
Bye. Good luck. Be whimsy and have fun in life because it's too short to not have fun.
Yes. Have a great day.
Yeah,
Bye.
see y'all.